I didn't invite you this afternoon to try to force the truth on you. I invite you to tell you the truth. If you want to return back to the lies, you want to return back from the light back into the dark, after you're invited out of the dark into the light, help yourself. No compulsion in Islam. Stay over here under the scars and stripes. I didn't say stars, I said scars and stripes. Is that clear? Stay over there if you want to. You just think you're catching hell. Now, wait till you see the hell's on the way now. As I say, you think you're catching hell. The worst is yet to come.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So they lied about all of Jesus. They lied about his birth, lied about his death, and his ministry. On the 25th day of December by a woman without a man. A Holy Ghost made Mary pregnant. There he was, Joseph espoused to Mary. Think about this now. And one day, Mary comes in and tells him, say, guess what, Joseph? I'm pregnant. He said he had never touched her as yet. But she comes in and tells him, Joseph, I'm pregnant. He said, what? How'd you get pregnant? He said, don't get excited now. A ghost did it. Just think about this. I'd like to see you right now.
Yes, sir.
You're engaged. Ain't never touched your wife to be. She tells you, honey, remember that ghost that got a hold of Mary back there? He got a hold of me. Now I'm pregnant. Don't get excited. Act just like Joseph acted. You know that's a big line you couldn't take. That's against nature, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That's right.
A woman having a baby without an agency of a man. Think about this now, or something from a man. But if you notice, look how it's written there. It said the Holy Ghost came up upon Mary, and the power of the highest overpowered her. The power of the one on top, the power of the highest overwhelmed her. Think about this now, and you'll get some understanding. And that's the only way a woman's going to get a baby, in other words, by the agency of a man. And brothers, in case a few of you in here with some foolish mind like that, I want to let you know, no. If she says she's got a baby by a ghost, don't go for it, brothers. I'd assure you, if nobody else knew, Mary knows. Right. But then Elijah Muhammad told us how it really happened. He said it was Joseph who was really the father. He said Joseph came to her like a ghost, unseen, a ghost, something unseen. Right. One day when Mary was alone and her father had gone away, and Joseph was the only man that she ever loved, and Joseph was a married man already with children. Right. If you notice, Jesus had brothers and sisters, right? Where'd they come from? Because Joseph already had children by the woman he was married to. Right. So when Mary was alone there, and she became frightened, a big dust storm came up, and darkness was all over the land. So under the cover of this dust storm, she started thinking about the only man she ever loved, was Joseph. She was thinking about him so strong, he picked up on her thoughts. And he came to see what was wrong with her. And when he got there, in other words, he found her father was gone. Nobody saw him come, and he came in like a ghost, unseen. And while he was there with Mary, by them being in love and alone together, which Mr. Muhammad said, two people in love cannot be left alone 5 minutes. Is that clear? So while the father was away, Joseph went with Mary. When the father returned, he looked at Mary, and she noticed she's taking on weight. He said, Mary, he said, you look like you're gaining weight. What happened? She said, it must have been something I ate, Father. About 3 months later, he said he came to Mary, and he said, whatever that was you ate, Mary, you must have ate an awful lot of it. So then Mary confessed. She couldn't hold back no longer. She said, Father, while you was gone, he said, Joseph came to me, and this is what happened. But all this was for a divine purpose. It had symbolic meanings. Do you understand? That a ghost-like man would come unseen and cause Mary to become impregnated with a child that's going to be a ruler of the land. That's the way God came, unseen like a ghost to America. He impregnated America with the truth. Do you understand? And the truth produced a man. Think about this now. A man like Jesus, Elijah Muhammad is that one. Impregnated America with the truth, and here comes Elijah Muhammad coming forth. I want you to know also in that parable, he said that Jesus was born in a lowly place. He couldn't be born in no high place. Do you understand? He said when Joseph and Mary Go back and read it again. You'll get some understanding. When Mary was about to have the baby, so they went to a public inn to have the baby. And they told them that there's no room found in the inn. In other words, they wouldn't allow it to be born in a public place. So therefore, since the baby couldn't be born in a public place, he had to be born in a low place. So in a manger, a lowly place, right?
Right.
Also, it tells you when the baby was born, that a star appeared there, denoting the place where he was born. It said, and the wise men of the east saw Jesus' star, right? From the star they knew that this baby had been born. That's something to think about, isn't it? So they came to the place where the star was showing and took one look at Jesus, and they recognized that he was the one that was to be born. What did they do, though? Herod had told them, now when you find the baby, he said, now let us know where he is. We want to all come and worship him also. Right? But they wanted to kill the baby.
That's right.
Because they knew that this baby was going to be a ruler over them. Do you understand? So what they did, the wise men, after they saw, said they went their separate ways. They went back home without telling old Herod, the devil, where the baby was.
Right.
Think about this now. So the baby had to grow and prosper in a lowly state. Also, it's interesting to note that when the baby was born, they were seeking the baby to kill it. And so God had to come, said he came to Joseph in a dream. And what did he tell Joseph? He said, take Mary and the baby and flee to Egypt. Now, Egypt is in Africa, isn't it?
Right.
Isn't that something that you need to think about? Go back and read it again.
Yes, sir.
That when the baby's born, take the baby to Egypt. Why? Because you're going to be in the land of Islam among the Muslims. He's a Muslim, where he will be protected until he grows up and gets strong enough to come and do his work. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then Elijah Muhammad said that Joseph whispered into the camel's ears. That's something to think about, isn't it? Told the camel. He said, take Mary and the baby to Egypt. And the camel obeyed. You got a whole lot of understanding to pick up on all these things, don't you? But nevertheless, it's the truth. Pardon me for sort of digressing. After I mentioned Jesus, I thought I had to tell you a little bit about the history of Jesus. That's just a little bit of it. I didn't go into all the details of it, but just wanted to tell you, in other words, how Jesus really was born. It wasn't in this spooky manner that you think. But nevertheless, they do call that day of his birth, they call it Christmas, don't they? The 25th day of December. How do they celebrate Christmas? The birthday of Jesus, with a red-faced devil called Santa Claus, riding through the sky on a sleigh, with reindeers pulling the sleigh in the sky, right? Full of toys, to be delivered to your poor, blind, deaf, and dumb children on Christmas Day. But if Mama and Daddy didn't get something in there and give them to the children, Santa would never arrive, would he? And you take your children to church and teach them all these lies. And you try to, how does Santa Claus get in, Mommy? He comes down through the chimney. The child looks at this great big old fat Santa Claus, looks at the chimney. Think about, how does he get down through there? The child is wondering, isn't he? And you slip in there, almost broke. Won't be able to pay your rent next month. Going out there trying to uphold the devil's lie, making the child think that Santa Claus gave it to you. You sacrificed to give the child these presents, then give the credit to Santa Claus. Oh, Santa Claus, while you were asleep, Santa Claus came and brought these. Why didn't he bring none this next door? Why didn't he bring one up the street? That's something to think about too, isn't it? Why did all those white devil children get so many toys? Why is this all I got, Mama? Isn't that something to think about? But do you ever think about it? No. You don't think about it because you're blind, deaf, and dumb. Thoroughly brainwashed by the white man. And you have the nerve when you come here. I got to be careful now, child. These people are brainwash you. Your brains have been so washed before you got here, there's nothing left to brainwash. Is that clear? The only thing we can do now is untrick you. You've already been thoroughly tricked. All you can do in Muhammad's temple is get untricked. The biggest lie ever told on the birth of Jesus